Hey folks, it's Stacy Oldfield with Minerva Management Partners, and I'm trying something new today. Instead of a written blog post, I thought I would try a video blog post. So we will see how this goes and whether or not I'm ever brave enough to try this again. So the topic I want to talk about today is scarcity and how to begin to shift a mindset from scarcity to one of abundance. This past week, I attended a webinar on how to create the roadmap to financial prosperity. And as part of the webinar, they listed 3 myths that stand in our way of reaching our financial potential. And one of the myths that they discussed was that of scarcity. See, the scarcity mindset revolves around a belief that there's not enough to go around. In other words, there's only one big pie out there, and if someone were to get a big piece of it, then everyone else would have to get a smaller piece, or worse yet, there wouldn't even be enough to go around. As a result, people with a scarcity mindset have a really hard time sharing, as you might expect, regardless of what it is, whether it's money, recognition, love, time, and as a result, they have a really hard time being genuinely happy for anyone else or even genuinely happy for themselves because they're always in a state of competition, sadness, jealousy. So scarcity really focuses on short term. What would be the most fun? How can I use up my resources right now so that they can't be taken away from me later? The unfortunate part is that having a scarcity mindset isn't really our fault. It's something that's been ingrained in us since we were children, and it's something we've been taught to operate under or operate within that level of understanding. On the flip side, the mindset of abundance believes that there is enough to go around and there is enough for everyone, and it really comes from a deep sense of personal worth and security. And as a result, people with an abundance mindset have no problem sharing recognition, money, love, time, and it really opens them up to more options, creativity, and happiness. So abundance focuses on the long term, and just because you don't have something today does not mean that you won't have anything later. So scarcity versus abundance mindset affects us in a lot more areas than just our financial situations. It also impacts our relationships, our career success, and our health. And there are a lot of ways that you can switch your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, but I'm only going to talk about one today. That's all we have time to talk about today. So after listening to this webinar, I decided that I was going to make one small change in my approach to each day. So here's my one small thing. I'm going to stop using the phrase not enough and replace it with just enough. So this very small change affects me in 3 ways, really. It changes the way I think about what is going on in my life by allowing me to focus on what I have instead of what I don't have. Secondly, it allows me to minimize comparisons to others. And thirdly, it allows me to be more content and appreciative and grateful for what I do have. For example, we all feel like we suffer from not enough sleep. But what happens when I wake up in the morning and instead of saying, oh, I did not get enough sleep last night, I say, oh, I got just enough sleep to conquer my day to day. Or instead of sitting down at my desk and saying, there is not enough time in this day for me to get everything done that I need to get done. And I say, I've got just enough time to prepare for my next client call. And then after that call, I go, hey, I've got just enough time to return all those emails. And then after that, I say, hey, I've got just enough time to write that article. And before you know it, I've tackled several of the items that are on my list, and I'm starting to feel really accomplished about my day. So instead of sitting in car rider line and saying, I do not have enough patience to sit here until school's out, I can say, I have just enough patience that I can tackle this new business book I've been dying to read while I'm waiting for school to be let out. Or when I go to the grocery store, instead of saying, I do not have enough money to buy anything extra today, I say, I have just enough to buy exactly what we need. So you follow my gist here, right? So this small change has already made a big impact on my days since seeing this webinar. I already feel a difference. And I know it's hard to believe, but I promise you it's true. I already feel less tired. I feel less stressed. I feel much more accomplished and in control of what's going on. And all of this leads to a feeling of contentment and happiness, which opens me up and opens you up to allowing more to come into your life. So that's it. That's my tip on shifting mindset from one of the tips from shifting mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. And I want to challenge you to find ways that you can change your internal language and begin shifting your own mindset. So let me know how it goes by leaving me a few comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas, and I'm always eager to learn from your experiences. So have a great day, and we will talk very soon.